Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Sarcastic Bowman, and welcome to my channel. And oh my god, have we got some derp for you. And I'm talking serious derp. The level of derp that I'm going to have to put the warning out now to please step back from your monitors. Please apply facepalm protection. And no, you can't sue me for punching the guy in the face when you hear the words. Though I don't know if you see his face. We watched the first 30 seconds and I was still like, no one's this stupid. Unfortunately, it seems like they are. So, let's roll the intro and get on with this.
The simple basic physics of a vacuum in space just doesn't work. For any scientist that actually just think about this, or physicist, the whole thing of vacuum in space is just not compatible with any kind of physics formula or physics that we can put to it. Where does the vacuum begin? Vacuum is one of the most powerful forces of nature. Where does that vacuum begin?
The vacuum's the most powerful force. Okay. Do you realise vacuums don't suck, don't you? You cannot be in the year 2021 and still think that the vacuum of space is actually sucking. That's moronically goddamn stupid. That's just fucking ignorantly, mind-numbingly, Nathan Oakley-Pokley level fucking stupid. But, unfortunately, you're going to keep going on with your stupidness. For anyone who wants to know, this is Michael Tellinger. And yeah, the stupid just flows from his mouth like diarrhea after a bad Indian.
What you can't do in space, or in a vacuum, what you can't do in infinite vacuum is you can't propel sound. You can't have explosions, fire, propulsion, jet engines, rockets, none of this stuff. Can't do that because there's nothing to propel against.
See what I mean? See what I mean? The stupid just keeps coming. Anyone who understands any sort of basic understanding principle, or has had a look at YouTube videos where they do launch rockets in vacuum chambers, knows that they don't need something to push off. They can push off themselves. Because that is what they are doing. Are you that fecking dense? I mean, come on. And surely you should realise that the rockets, they're not actually making like a flame that's needing oxygen. Well, yes, they are. But they have their own oxidizers to make that propulsion. These are simple things that I would expect anyone who's actually done any goddamn looking into researchiness in this, in the fractionest, tiniest amount should know. Which means you've obviously just woken up, taken a load of drugs and thought, what can I do today? Let's be crazy! And yeah.
And then you start watching like SpaceX sending a rocket up into space, and the very well-trained presenter that's got all the buzzwords. She knows all the lingo and all the buzzwords. And at one stage I was watching and she says, and the rocket is about to enter the vacuum of space. Really? And millions of people are watching this and they believe this. You see, they just, the rocket just entered the vacuum of space.
You do understand we have a pressure gradient. It's not as if it just goes from nowhere. It's not a sudden break. You understand this, that when planes are up high, the oxygen is thinner. When you go on top of a mountain, the oxygen is thinner. That is part of the pressure gradient slowly getting towards the vacuum of space. This is not difficult. I had a little bit of a play about with your photo thing, meme, rappy crap stuff. Because I think it's still not the best, but at least it shows it a bit better than the stupidness you were trying to portray. Because, let's be fair, that argument is fucking moronic. I mean, seriously.
Space. Where? How did it, where? Please frickin' explain that to me. In scientific terms, not in BS terms.
Why do I have a feeling this has been explained to you in scientific terms, but that's what you're actually calling BS, and you don't understand that gravity pulls things down. We have a pressure gradient. I mean, I could dumb it down a lot for you, which would just be this.
Gravity, you fucking retard! Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity! Gravity!
Oh, you won't understand it. No, please try me. I want to understand this. Explain to me where that vacuum begins.
Okay, it's not like the same everywhere, but we'll say 100 kilometers. That's the Kármán line. That's what's generally concerned the start of space. There you go. Is that simple enough for you? Or is your brain still going to struggle with that as an answer?
And we start realizing that everything we've been told about the moon landing, space, is probably one of those big hoaxes. It is a tough one to swallow.
Funny, that's what my wife said last night. Anyway, about the video bits. No. You just have to be absolutely up your own ass to think you've debunked something when it comes to the moon landings. They went to the moon. Independent people tracked them going to the goddamn moon. This isn't like one of these, like, maybe this happened. No, there's evidence of what fucking happened. And if you're going to say, well, the Russians, yes, the Russians would have quite quickly said, you didn't go there. You are lying. You are big liars. We have bear that says you no go moon. That was, I don't know what the fuck that was. Play the video.
But we're going to have to start swallowing it sooner than later.
This video is just meant for me, isn't it? Hard to swallow. Gonna have to swallow it sooner or later. Get bent on your face otherwise. I'm sorry.
The longer they string us along, the worse this is gonna get. So, for those of you that still believe that we landed on the moon, I'm gonna shatter that for you right now.
Are you? Are you really? Or are you gonna point out some completely trivial stupidness that your brain cannot comprehend because you are that goddamn stupid? I mean, it's not a big level of stupidness really for you at this point, is it? But still, for the rest of us, we're just going to point, laugh and go, ha! Moron. Yep, just the same level of stupidness I was expecting at this point. If you did see any sway, comment it, because I fucking didn't see any sway. the fucking level of stupidness I have to put my brain through for this fucking channel. Jesus.
Having seen hundreds of rocket firings when I was employed by Rocketbound, I know that the jet of the Lunar Module Lander, the Lunar Lander, would have created an enormous crater. It would have scoured the moon's surface. It would have tossed up rocks, sand, everything, and created a crater maybe so large that the entire Lunar Lander could have sunk into it.
Really? Are you talking out your ass? I think you're talking out your ass. Let's check. Yep, you're talking out your ass. Any basic understanding of the fucking rocket coming down, well, the Lunar Lander, the Big Bell engine, how rockets work in a vacuum, how it's all going to be going straight away, it's not going to be pushing straight down to burrow into the ground to blow everything out the fucking way. And pictures taken on the moon do show that the top layer of dust was blown away. But then it doesn't sit in the air because there's nowhere for it to sit in. It gets blown away and then goes woo, plop. Or woo, bouncy, bouncy, plop. That's about it. This is basic understanding. And just because you're a moron who doesn't understand these things doesn't mean it didn't happen.
After all, we're dealing with a 10,000-pound thrust engine, which...
Yeah, a 10,000-pound thrust engine that was only using about 20% as it came in for the final descent. So... No? What's 20% of 10,000? Do the maths, moron.
Is pointed directly at the surface, lowered into the surface, and yet, if you look at pictures of the lunar lander on the moon, there is no disturbance whatsoever under the lunar lander's rocket.
You lying little sack of shit. I mean, there is no other words for it at this point. If we look at the lunar fucking module, £10,000 thereabouts on maximum thrust, over a 63-inch engine bell. But then we weren't blasting down at 100% thrust as we came into land, was it? No, it was down to around about a third, 20%, give or take, as it's coming down. So you do the maths to work out the area pushed out. Works out about £1 per square inch. That's not a fucking lot. And then if you work out your average sort of person, and you take the weight of your average sort of person, your average sort of shoe size, and then you look at your average sort of footprint and how much pressure you're actually going to put on that, that works about £3 per square inch. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm walking along a fucking beach, I don't leave giant fucking craters that I'm going to sink into. And to think otherwise, you'd have to be a fucking moron. And what? You're showing the feet of the landers? Brilliant. What, because there's no dust on you think that debunks everything? It doesn't though, fucking does it? Because there's no atmosphere for the dust to be suspended in once it has been slightly, very slightly blasted away by the engine. As we saw in the picture before, there was some sort of sprayness. But that's going to come straight back down because there's no atmosphere to hang about in. So why would it be on the fucking pads? Oh wait, it fucking wouldn't.
If you've not seen Jay Widener's Kubrick Odyssey, that's the first point of departure. Watch Jay Widener's Kubrick Odyssey, and you will never believe another word NASA tells you. You'll never ever believe that we landed on the moon, and you'll understand Stanley Kubrick's role in this entire thing.
You really think that if Kubrick wanted to film the lunar landing, he wouldn't want to do it on fucking location? This is Stanley fucking Kubrick we're talking about. And as an ending clip, we're going to play this, because this breaks it down quite nicely.
Wouldn't it be great to make everyone think we'd landed on the moon? That'd show the Soviets.
What would it show them?
Well, they'd think we'd landed on the moon and they'd be all afraid. Do this right and the Cold War could be over by 1971.
Why don't we just release the footage of the Mars landings?
No, it's vitally important that we keep the successful mission to Mars a secret. But I've got a hunch that if we pretend to have landed on the moon, that will be in some way intimidating.
Will people believe us?
Oh, I'm sure they will, to the extent that we won't even need to bother to pay much attention to detail with regard to flags and shadows and so on. Dad, you're the top spy in the Secret Service when it comes to misleading footage. What do you suggest?
Well, to start with, of course, we'll need to build a massive rocket.
Why? We're not actually going to the moon. Sorry, I thought that was the point. Have I got this wrong?
We'll need a massive rocket because the first question people will ask when we show them the footage of the moon will be, how did you get there? So we'll have to be able to say, we went in that massive rocket you saw.
So we're not actually going to make any kind of saving in terms of the cost of a massive rocket?
No, but we will be making a saving on the cost of actually going to the moon.
True. And what costs are involved in actually going to the moon?
Well, the main one, to be honest, is the massive rocket.
Any others?
Well, other than that, it's mainly catering.
So we'll make a saving on that?
Well, no. In fact, it'll probably be more expensive to cater for an entire film crew for the duration of a shoot than it would be to feed 3 astronauts.
So, I'm just wondering, we'll still have to build the massive rocket capable of going to the moon?
We will have to do that, yes.
So I was just thinking, if we've built the moon rocket, might it not be cheaper to just pop to the moon and fake the footage there?
Fake the footage of the fake moon landing on the moon? What if people found out?
That's a risk we're just going to have to take.
And I think that sums that up goddamn brilliantly. Right, that's all the time we've got for tonight. I might look at the rest of this video. I'm still got to go back to the Greatest Deception video that everyone seemed to enjoy last week. I know Orphan Red's released some new videos, so that's going to have to be looked at as well. Hate my life. But please keep on the eye out for more pizza streams. Don't forget, see you next Tuesday. All the stuff from the Shills and all the other awesome creators who are on Thursday nights like this with Lizzie. or something like that. But thank you very much to all my members, patrons. Thank you all to my huge amount of new members. You are absolute goddamn stars. And for everything else. And I shall see you on the next one. Good night.